I like that you have that opportunity with internships, because not oftentimes in the United States do you get that kind of experience with an internship. Our internships look phenomenal on your resume. They look even better on your Instagram. It's going to be a good time. So that's what we really are looking for you guys. And so for you, Carla, my question is, how has this internship changed you as a student and as a person?
Okay. First off, I just recently changed my major, and when I went to London, I was actually an education major, and I wanted to try something different because I felt like I wanted to try different things other than teaching, and so I told Kappa about it, and they like put me in an internship that I told them like, oh, I like helping people. And so like, okay, so we think that this is like the best internship for you because the other one didn't work out. And I guess what I've learned from it and how it helped me grow as a person is that it made me realize like, oh, this is what I like to do. I like working with people and helping people because I was interning in a nonprofit organization, and so other than just my resume looking good because I did internship, but also it was kind of like a fulfilling to know that like I was part of an organization that helps out people with hearing problems, and so yeah, that and it really opened my eyes. Aside from the internship, like overall experience is that, not to be cheesy, and I feel like you've heard this a lot, but it's really true though. Like it really opened your eyes. Like it's like, wow, like London, it's so cool. Like just the culture is so different. You get to hear slang, and I find myself having this like mini accent when I was there, because like you talk. I actually made some local London friends, and it was really cool. And I get to talk to them on a daily basis. And since I like talk to them a lot, like sometimes you get into this like you kind of like immerse yourself in the culture, and then you realize like, oh my god, like am I talking like a Londoner? Like this is so cool. And then you come back, you're like, oh, like, but yeah, it was just a really cool experience. Like it just helps you like expand your perspective on things, and like how other culture are, and and it's something that you can contribute here in your internship. Like if you're starting a new internship here locally, you can say like, oh, this is what I did in London, and like what kind of things you learn from your internship from there you can apply to your internship here, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Which is
I hope I
fantastic.
answered that question. I was kind of
That was perfect. And what I really like that you noted was that you went overseas thinking you wanted to do one thing and then came back from overseas with a completely different idea of what you wanted to do.
yeah.
And I think that that's a really productive thing, because while you're still in college, what a good time to figure out that you don't actually like what you're majoring in or what you're planning on doing for the rest of your life.
Right.
So it's so nice that you had this opportunity, and all students could have this opportunity to really get an immersed experience in this career or in the field that you think you want to go into. And hopefully it works out and it affirms what you've always dreamed it would be. But there's a possibility that you get into that field and you're like, not a chance. I don't think so. And so you switch it up, and that's totally okay too. This is the perfect time to be switching things up. That. We've also had other students who went overseas, loved their internships, and continued working for the companies that they were working for. So we've had
That's awesome.
in our office where she was like, I lived in Australia, I worked for a marketing firm. They have a firm out of Miami. I still fly down to Miami twice a year and do conferences for them. How nice is that? So there really is an extended opportunity here where students are able to make these long-lasting connections. So I think that that's something that really speaks to the quality of the internships, but also the quality of our student experiences. And so I think our final question would be for you, Carla. What would you say to students who are thinking about interning abroad?
Okay. if you are scared to go because it's a totally different world out there, just do it. Honestly, I was scared too because of like, I was scared, oh, the financial aspect of it going and like the process. People like Jessica is like there to help you. And actually Jessica was the person that I talked to about this when I was starting and studying, thinking of studying abroad. And I don't know if you remember, I was so like anxious and nervous. I was like, oh my god, like I want to go, but then I'm like scared because I don't know, like the process, it's gonna be so long. But it was so worth it. Like now I can say I went to London. Like, so honestly, not just for the resume, like not just to make your resume look good, but it's for the experience. Because I feel like when you're young, that should be, you should put yourself out there more and experience things, and definitely do the internship. I know it was a lot, but it honestly helps you, like, again, gain more insight of how career and jobs are like in different countries, and you get to kind of like give a fresh perspective when you do start a new internship here locally. So don't be scared, just do it. It's one of those things where like, oh, I'm scared to do it, but once you do it, you're like, wow, like, well, I don't understand why I was scared to do it. Like, it's actually not that bad. Like, this is actually amazing. And so if you're looking for a sign to study abroad, like, this is it. This
Carla
is
is our
it.
sign to study abroad. If you needed a push in that direction, she's here for you.
Like, you coming to this info session is the sign. just
Exactly.
just the fact that you're coming here, that means you're interested, and definitely I feel like you should just go for it.
Yeah, it really is a kind of jump in the water kind of experience. A lot of our students are like, well, I'm a little apprehensive, or I want to study abroad, but I'm not sure about the internship part. I really recommend it. I love our internships. They're really well curated, they're really well supported, and I think
Mm-hmm.
are often better off when they come back. We do have a
Mm-hmm.
few questions in the chat for Carla, and then I'm going to
Yeah, I
virtual opportunities as well that we have, because right now in the pandemic, a lot of students are like, I cannot find internships. Not even international internships, I'm talking domestic internships are difficult to find right now, and I can absolutely
oh.
appreciate that. So what we do offer our students is the opportunity to intern during the semester and during the
Mm-hmm.
summer virtually. We have a remote
Mm-hmm.
global internship that is phenomenal. So we're going to talk about that in just a second, but we're going to go over some of the questions that we got. So one of the questions is, how many classes did you take along with your internship? And this is going to be per student, but how many did you take, Carla?
Okay, so I'm trying to remember what I took.
I remember what you took, actually, if that helps.
Oh, you do.
I do. So I
I
was
think
coordinator.
it was 5 to 6, right?
Right.
Because I took theater, art, um, literature. It was detective fiction, and if you are doing an internship, you have to take this internship class, which I know for some people, like, oh, I don't get why we have to take it, but honestly, it is so helpful, and they make you do it, and it just helps you a lot with like how to be more professional, how to make your resume stands out than the rest of the resume. So that I took that class, and another literature class, Shakespeare. So I think actually five.
Yeah.
And so yeah.
Yeah, so students can take up to 5 classes traditionally
Mm-hmm.
while they're there. We typically recommend they take 4 classes. That includes the
Mm-hmm.
internship, just to give you a little more time. But you can
I
be
was an
as
overachiever.
yes, as adventurous as you would like to be. So we do have another question. How were you able to become friends with local people?
um okay, well, first off, my friend actually, um she knows, like, from college, she knows someone there, because this person came um, came here in the US, and like they became friends, And so like she introduced me to him, and also I met one of my closest friends um, through my internship. One of my coworkers was of my age, and we sat like across each other, and she's 100% London, like she was born and raised there. And I don't know, we just, I guess we clicked, and like from there we just like hanged out a lot. And another way of meeting new people is that Kappa gives you a card, um, that it's a card from a university. It's like an ID card for university. And like every weekend or like throughout the week in this university, like they throw events and really interesting events like Halloween. I remember like a lot of students, and there were local students from that university. Like you literally just go there and like you meet so many local like Londoners, and they're students, like they're also college students. And so Kappa gave you the opportunity to meet local people, and you used a card, and like they sign you up in there, and then in that card there's like a little bit of money that Kappa gives you, so like you can use it through like their cafeteria. They have a lot of things going on in that university, so that was another way of going, meeting locals. But I guess I was just lucky that my friend knows someone there already, and so I get to connect with him. And
Yeah.
then I met my friend. Her name is Magenta, my coworker, and yeah. And also, I'm just a really outgoing person. I like to talk, so
It's
I
perfect.
literally just like talk to people and like, oh, we're friends. So
Yeah.
just honestly putting yourself out there and not being shy. I know it's hard when you're shy. I'm a little shy too, but like you're out there, like you can be whoever you want to be.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And I think
that's
you'll
fun.
find also when you go overseas, people are
Mhm.
very interested in the American perspective, especially a New
Mhm.
Yorker's perspective. So you have a
Mhm.
very wonderful kind of platform that you already rest on because of
Yes.
who you are and where you're from. And so you have the privilege of people wanting to talk to you when you go.
Right. Actually, another thing too is that there is an option where you can choose to to be directly enrolled to a university.
Yeah.
So for me, I was studying through Kappa, so I was in the Kappa building, and I had a great time. It was fun. But also, like, if you really want to spend more time with the locals, you can choose to enroll through a university, through Kappa. But Kappa also have those classes, but it
Yeah.
it really just depends on what you're looking for. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.